Well, ladies and gentlemen, so today, welcome to our conjunction series. And today we are going to be doing our conjunction of Moon, Venus, and Ketu. And what happens when these three planets are conjunct in your horoscope. And if you do not know, if you have this conjunction, exactly how far apart they are, which house they're happening in, which sign they're happening in, all your other planetary placement details. For that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction, and Aspects of the Speed of Light, including all my consultations are here. So, Moon, Venus, and Ketu. A very unusual combination. Because, as you know, Moon represents our mind, our happiness, our comfort level. It is our mother. Nourishment. It represents home, motherhood, parenthood. Moon is water. Then Venus represents love, relationships, our ability to form a connection with the other person. It's romance, arts, culture, creativity. Venus is the spouse, and especially Venus is the wife for a man's chart. Well, nowadays it's for even a woman's chart. And then comes Ketu, the planet of past life, planet of past karmas. It's the planet that represents the zero-ness, nothingness. South node of the moon, Ketu, is a planet that loves to look within. This is why it's known as a mokshakaraka planet. Because when you look within, it's a process. Looking within is a process known as spiritual awakening. Yet Ketu may also represent explosive and terrorism, beheading, because Ketu is a headless planet. It has its malefic side. Ketu is the army which has the flag down. So wherever Ketu is, you feel like you own that house. You have already experienced the things of that house. So it's kind of behaves like Mars in a way. It has that very much a Martian energy. So when these three planets are conjunct, these people will have a very unusual pattern towards relationships. Their mind is always attracted to people who are very unusual in their behavior, in their relationship patterns. These people are, first of all, very creative mind. They're able to think very abstractly. Why abstract? Because Ketu is a very abstract planet. This is why it's exalted in the sign of Pisces, which is an abstract sign. And Venus represents our creative side, including Moon is also creativity. Because creativity comes through the mind. Whatever I think here and imagine here through energy of Moon and other planets is what I'm able to show it to you. So like, for example, these ideas of having the Saturn and the Saturn V rocket, it was created here, the mind. This is why Moon is also creativity. But at the same time, Ketu brings its most awkwardness into play. Depending upon how close Ketu is with Venus, depending upon which house and sign this conjunction is taking place in, a person can have a very deviant nature towards the feminine energy, towards the feminine side. Like these people may not have feelings towards women. Because remember, it's like if I was to cut your head off, I don't think I'll ever be doing that. But for pretend, if I did that, and you were alive and you were walking, you won't be able to feel anything. And so what happens is, this person, when it comes in contact with the female energy, whether it's Moon or Venus, it feels like it has no linkage to it. It feels like it can treat women kind of like an object. On the highest state, so let's say if this conjunction is occurring in Scorpio, in the 3rd house, 6th house, 8th house. Yes, you got somebody who is very troubled when it comes to dealing with women. They do not know how to deal with them. They don't understand their emotions. Then you have this conjunction occurring in the sign of Pisces, let's say, in the 12th house or ascendant, 5th house, 7th house, 9th house. This person will respect women to a point where they may become celibate. They will not want to look at women in a very, unholy way, impure way. This also shows the person that you're going to be with in this life, the person that you're going to marry in this life, you will have a past life connection with them. Especially if Venus is conjunct with Ketu in the Namansha chart, there's definitely a past life connection, meaning you guys were together in the past life, but somehow you guys were separated and now you're back again in this life to be together. And this also shows that your mother had a very peculiar way of raising you. The mother was a very beautiful person, very skinny. Your mother probably had a very high metabolism. Because Ketu, whenever it's conjunct a planet or aspects it, it gives it a high metabolism. So people with this kind of a Ketu, let's say in the ascendant, will never be able to gain weight. Anytime they gain weight, they lose weight. And so is your spouse as well, will have a very slim, slender body. Yet, this is one of the conjunction. This is the Moon Venus Rahu conjunction is far much easier to define than this one, because here you have to see how Ketu is acting. Because remember, Ketu is the eclipse point. It's the southern eclipse point. The shadow of when it hits the moon, the southern part becomes Ketu. And so to understand Ketu requires a lot of practice and energy. This is why Ketu represents moksha, liberation. Because understanding Ketu will liberate you. Because Ketu can act very impulsively, explosively, irrationally in a certain sign or place. And Ketu can act in the most purest form in some other sign. But also, with this particular conjunction, and I think I forgot to mention it with Mercury, Venus, and Rahu, always look at the dispositor of Ketu, or pretty much this whole conjunction. So if this conjunction is happening in the sign of Pisces, look at the dignity of Jupiter. If it's happening in Scorpio, look at the dignity of Mars. Because the nodes, Rahu and Ketu, really behave depending upon the dignity of the dispositor. They will give results of where the dispositor is sitting. And they give results of the planets that are conjunct and the sign that they're in, but mainly it's where the dispositor is placed. Those are the things that the energy will be experiencing. So if your conjunction is happening in the 3rd house, in Scorpio, but then Mars is in the 5th house, exalted, a person will have a much more different attitude towards women relationship versus if Mars was in the 6th house, 8th house, or 11th house. But especially when it's in certain signs like this karmic sign of Scorpio or Aquarius, the emotions, they always kind of evaporate. They always kind of wash out. Because water sign is a sign that goes and moves around and moves away. It never sits still. So your perception of women, your idea about this energy of women, this feminine energy, will always somehow dissolve into something else. One day you want to respect them, the other you want to beat them. But the closer this Ketu is with Moon and Venus, that's where the more of this energy will become evident. Okay? So guys, this is my analysis of Moon, Ketu, Venus conjunction. If you're new in my channel, subscribe below. And again, if you want to know where your conjunctions are placed, all your planetary placements, my books, reports, consultations, for that, click on the link here. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.